So, hello everyone, my name is Arya Putra. Today I want to tell you guys the stories about the hope and the potential from the cities where I came from. A city called Bandung, known as one of the most creative cities in Indonesia. And this reputation happens because the creative sector in Bandung is strongly integrated with the economic sector and the social sector. But one of the things that take a massive contributions in this creative sector is the youth. The energy of its youth permeates every corner and actively involved with various communities and industries in Bandung. And the most popular one is the fashion and textile industries. There are more than 700 textile industries scattered in every village in Bandung city, and each of the villages contributes significantly to the growth of the textile sector in Bandung city, including the village where I lived, namely Kampung Lebak Siliwangi, a kampung that is located right in the economic heart of Bandung, which grew because of the high urbanization into this area, and creating my kampung become a high-density kampung. The same like any other village, my kampung is a densely populated settlement where its people live in diversity and close kinship. Because of that, many local people run various type of business, but the most common one is the small-scale textile industries. Since I live here, I found more than 53 home-based textile industries grows in my kampung. And despite of our small scale, we believe that we play a big role for the textile industry sector in our city. But unfortunately, the high number of textile industries in my kampung create a high amount of textile waste. Some factors like our limited facilities, our weak creative approach, and our individually driven business make it difficult for us to process the waste. And most of us choose to throw it directly to the river without realizing it. This will bring disaster for our local youth and our future generations. So, according to all of this problem, we need a solution. Imagine if we can create a place and a platform for a textile industry sector in Lebak Siliwangi to converge and work collectively and together that previously, because of the pandemic, made them work individually on a small scale, can pushing the reset button to become collective like it was before. And this kind of collectiveness will create a greater prosperity, greater economic, not only for individual, but for whole community in Kampung Lebak Siliwangi. This place also gives a platform for the elders and the youth to use their creative skill to contribute for their local area. So at the end, all of these three sectors will be connected to one another and also creating sustainable impact not only for their local nature, but also our social community and our future generations. This place is called Silih. Silih is a place where every part of community can converge and work together not only in the textile sector, but also in the holistic aspect of our social life. So Silih itself comes from a value that exists in my local community, which means togetherness. And this kind of togetherness will bring back the spirit of mutual cooperation like it was before in every single presence in the Kampung Lebak Siliwangi. So, the Silih will be located in the center of Kampung Lebak Siliwangi. The location is close to the local river, so their existence will be a reminder for local community to maintain the cleanliness of their local area. This location also makes it easy for every part of community to access and move their work into the Silih. Let's get closer. The existing building is an abandoned government building which is located in the center of Kampung Lebak Siliwangi. With the adaptive reuse approach, this building will be renovated into Silih. So the whole building is divided into two major messes. The larger building will be used by the community to carry out their daily textile work, and then the balai area is used by the community to share the value that they have made in the main building to the outside communities. So let's take a look at every stitch in your cloth. So the special planning in the building is inspired by those curvy stitching pattern that we commonly see in our clothes. How its curvy stitching pattern has a purpose to unify several fabric into a single fabric. It is similar to the essence of this spatial form. How its rounded spatial design create a centralized activity for all users inside Silih. So it will evoke a lot of collaborations between the Lebak Siliwangi community first, and then they can share the impact of these collaborations to the outside communities. So this 900 square meter abandoned building, which is located in the center of Lebak Siliwangi, will be renovated collectively by the local. This also will create a sense of belonging and sense of responsibility to maintain the Silih. The renovation process will use the disposed material which are scattered around the Lebak Liwangi neighborhood. For example, this lightweight brick material that we can find in Kampung area. So the use of this material was chosen not only because it is familiar for the local, but it also has a good absorption capabilities. And to maintain this function and also to maintain their original color, we can also apply the coating from the Nippon Paint. And the other supporting materials at the Silih Hub also use the disposed material coated by the coating from the Nippon Paint. The materials that were previously considered as a waste can actually be upcycled to become more useful. This also helps reduce the waste in the area and build positive habits for the local community. So as the main material at Silih Hub, the fabric waste produced from the garment work also can be processed by stitching or twisting. So all of the judges can also feel the stitch or twist that have been distributed before. So the large fabric waste can be upcycled to become a colorful curtain or roof covering. This roof covering can absorb nearly 40% of the heat during the day and keep those heat very well, creating warm atmosphere even at the night. The large fabric waste can also be upcycled to become a curtain. So in the morning, the curtain can be fully open to maximize the morning sun. And when the midday sun is pretty hot, the curtain can be fully closed to block the excessive sunlight. Moreover, the smaller fabric waste can also be upcycled by twisting it into woven shape. And this kind of twist also can be used as a new storage fixtures at the Silih Hub. And the weaving of this twist creates a gap that can be used to hang fabric adjustably. This idea was inspired by the Kampung community tendency to casually hang their laundry in various places. And the gaps, which are also found in the lightweight brick arrangement, create a flexible storage system to storing the fabric roll or any kind of textile equipment. And all of the gaps which create by each material arrangement provide a good air ventilation and lighting access. This will reduce the use of artificial energy and makes the Silih Hub become a low energy building. Besides the solid textile treatment, the liquid waste produced from the laundry area at Silih Hub also can be processed. So the wastewater is collected and flowed into several tanks containing natural material to neutralize the waste, so that the water cycle can also be maintained and reused by the local community for their daily needs. So in the process of designing Silih Hub, I had a lot of collaborations and discussions with my local community in my kampung. So from this approach, we can conclude that to make local feel comfortable inside the building, we should implement the local habit inside the design. For example, the way we usually sitting on the floor in the cross-leg position, or the way we do our daily activities. So I also involve with their daily activities and implement all of these activities inside the Silih Hub, allowing all of these cycles to be repeated. For example, from morning to evening, the Silih Hub is mostly used by the elders to conduct their daily textile work. And when the evening comes, all of the work will be handed over to the youth to processing the fabric waste and also create any kind of community activities. All of these design approaches are directly inspired by the kampung daily life, so that Lebak Liwangi people do not hesitate and still feel comfortable doing their activities inside. And when the people feel comfortable and feel the impact of the Silih Hub, they will automatically take care and hand it over to the next generations, creating sustainability from the generations to the next generations. So this is how the atmosphere of Silih Hub looks like in the morning, which is located in the center of Kampung Lebak Liwangi. Without further ado, let me take you guys to stroll inside the Silih Hub. So in the morning, the elders usually gather in the balai area to have a casual discussion before starting their work. Of course, in a cross-leg position like we usually did before. Next up, we're going to the main building to starting our daily textile work. So we usually begin our work by cutting or making the pattern in this area. So we also have an adjustable storage system here to storing the fabric roll or any kind of textile equipment. After that, the pattern, we bring the pattern to be stitched in this area. For the fabric or garment that have been stitched earlier, we can hang them on the woven fabric available on each side of the wall. After that, the fabric that have been stitched earlier is then tidied up manually by the elders in this area. They can also storing those fabric in the storage system available next to them. We also have a multi-purpose area that can be used by the local community to packing or checking the fabric. Or maybe at other times, this area can also be used by the local community to conduct any kind of centralized community activities. So all of these textile works, of course, produce a lot of textile waste. So all of this textile waste is then swept down and collected in a storage system in the lower area. And then the elders sort and stitch the fabric waste into a single fabric, and then they bring them to the washing area for cleaning. So here, the fabric waste is washed together by the local. And the position of washing also adopts the way local people do their laundry. And its circular shapes allows the elders to engage in gossip while doing their laundry, making it more convenient and enjoyable for them. After that, the fabric are hanged in the drying area. And then they can also be shifted to the side to avoid the direct sunlight or a direct rain. So all of this textile activity will continue until evening. Before the elders went to home, they wrote down the work that need to be done by themselves and also by the youth. And usually before they go home, they pray together in the multipurpose area, and it will certainly increase the strong relationship between the elders. So when the evening comes, the youth will usually pick up the fabric in the drying area, and they bring them to the crafting area to create a craftsmanship using the fabric waste. For example, creating the woven, creating the outfit that I'm wearing today, or any kind of creative craftsmanship using their creative approach. So as the night grows darker, more and more youth will gather and come to here. And because of the openness of this place, the youth are allowed to conduct any kind of creative activities. For example, the youth can create a screen printing workshop for children in the multipurpose area, or maybe the youth just have relaxed after their work by playing ping pong together in the fabric cutting area. Or maybe they watch a football match together like we usually did before in the multipurpose area. However, without realizing it, the night air is getting colder. So we pull down the curtain to block the cold air from entering the balai. And when the curtains are set up, we usually gather in the balai area to have our community events such as art performance, karaoke, and any kind of events until the midnight come. And this balai area has also a function for the local youth to create activities and do collaborations with outside communities. For example, the youth can collaborate with certain recycling brand in Bandung city to hold a creativity bazaar to promote what they have made from a textile work. For example, like this bag also, made by one of the recycling brand in Bandung city. So actually, local youth can collaborate with this recycling brand to make a new one and as sell them to get a greater market. Or maybe the youth can also collaborate to hold a collectivity exhibitions related to the sustainable materials. Or maybe the youth can also collaborate to hold a fashion show related to the fabric waste. The point is how all of these activities will create a huge impact for Lebak Siliwangi community. So at the end, Silih Hub is not only become a place, Silih Hub also become a soul for Lebak Siliwangi community to contribute for their local area by connecting all of these three sectors and also preserve their ecological sector so that Lebak Siliwangi will inspire other surroundings area further. So Silih Hub also fosters sustainable impact. There are 11 SDGs points that become long-term goal of the Silih Hub, and it will be even more impactful if Silih Hub can also be scattered to solving river cleanliness problem in various textile countries around the world. Just like the scattered stars in the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, played by children in my kampung using angklung, a traditional musical instrument from Bandung. So this song tells us about how the scattered stars can impacting their surrounding. Same like Silih Hub, how their existence revive togetherness and bring beneficial influence for every aspect of Lebak Siliwangi's life. The existence of Silih Hub also presses many reset buttons, resetting the community togetherness, resetting the environmental awareness, resetting the dreams and hopes of our future generations. So at the end, Silih Hub is not only about the design. Silih Hub also teaches us to be conversed with our surrounding community and also be impactful for our surrounding environment. For all kampung and Lebak Siliwangi, Silih Hub.